What's good? This Basketball Anisto Basketball Analysis coming to you with another video upon the Detroit Pistons, rebuilding the Detroit Pistons. This team is on the rise. But like I said, with the Washington Wizards was a fixture in the NBA playoffs, and then they didn't make it this year. Just because you made it this year don't mean you're going to make it next year. They got the talent. They got the coach for a champion. They got a championship coach and talent. Reggie Jackson is a guy that's showing that he can play. He got paid. They got him locked down. They got Tobias Harris he's locked down, and now they just got to lock down Andre Drummond for their future. He's the only player that has not committed long term to the team, but he do give them flexibility. Since he didn't sign the extension, they can sign somebody else, hopefully. But you're gonna have to take a pay cut in that case. But Andre Drummond is the guy that they need to get locked down. He's the youngest out of all of them, even though, Tobias Harris is 23. Jody Meeks is another player that didn't live up to his contracts. They got a couple people coming off their contracts. They can move them around, trade them for some draft picks, basically a stash. They got some players they can get. I'm about to tell you all the players they can get in free agency that can roll with this team. These going to be like role players because they got their main core. It's going to be built around Reggie, Tobias, and Andre Drummond. So with that being said, if the salary cap go up, they could add another piece, which will be fine with them. And they got to give an extension to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You guys got to remember that he's been playing solid to great basketball. They going to have to pay him close to the max because he's been putting up solid numbers. And he's going to continue to get better as the season go on. So you got to watch out for that. So if they pay Drummond his max, they're going to have to pay Kentavious his max in the future. So you guys got to look out for that in Detroit to keep an eye out on that unless something go bad or something go wrong in Detroit, which we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But the things they need to look at are just backup players. I feel like since Stan Van Gundy has tried to accelerate the winning process inside of Detroit, he came there with a team that he wanted to see how everything worked. It didn't work. He had to flip some pieces, move some pieces, take Josh Smith contract and stretch it, and he did everything geniusly. And on top of that, when he did all these moves, the only thing that was bad is that they bench just wasn't there. But he had to do it because he wanted to win. They got to the playoffs this year, and now he has to build upon that and get higher and higher and hopefully a championship. So what's next for this team is really re-sign Kentavious, re-sign Andre Drummond, and at the end of the day, get the solid backups that you need. There's a couple backups in this free agency that they can get since Kentavious is still under his rookie contract. And all they got to do is give them the $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 million contracts. They already got Aaron Baines for the center position, so they don't really need to fill that. And he give him versatility because he can shoot and he can shoot free throws. I can see Mizar Teletovic going to that team because they do need another three that can shoot consistently under a decent contract. They're going to need another ball handler because Steve Blake is just not enough for them to succeed long term. So he was a short term deal that they needed. So you can see Ty Lawson probably come in there, give him some decent minutes. Matthew Dellavedova showing his promise. But LeBron gonna want to keep him there, but Detroit can offer him more money, so that's more beneficial to him. And he don't really owe loyalty to nobody. He worked hard and it paid off. You can see Mario Chalmers is another solid backup for Reggie that can get the job done and control the tempo and listen to Stan Van Gundy directions. And he's one of those people that just goes out there and get the job done. For the shooting guard position, that's going to be a lot tougher because everybody want the 3 and D people. So those people are going to be off the market quick, especially on those cheap contracts. So I don't think you're going to find nothing. That's why you got to pay Kentavious Caldwell-Pope his money. Gerald Henderson is a guy, though, that you can bring in, and he can give you solid minutes. He can come off screens. He can get you some easy buckets. He can play some decent defense. He can do some decent things on a decent contract. So I can see him coming on to that team for a decent salary for a backup for Katavius. Uh, but he might get paid more than Katavius, but down the road, Katavius is gonna get paid more than him because he's just more consistent. Katavius has became better than what we thought. Some people thought he was gonna be a bust. Some people thought he was gonna be okay, but he's showing that he has potential to be an all-star caliber player in the NBA. They're gonna be a top 10 backcourt next year if they can just make that last leap. They made it to the playoffs. They came close to winning the game, but they was going against the number one seed. So now they just got to make that leap offensively a little bit more and just get that bench to help them out so they can in the playoffs. So that way they can get some rest because they had to play hard because they just didn't have the right bench. If they had a decent bench, I think they could at least won 2 games in Cleveland. They played that exceptional with the talent that they had. I think that they could have beat Cleveland at least twice. The only thing about it is they just didn't have the bench to do it. And now this is what they got to do in the offseason. And they got the cap after Andre to do it. We just going to see the pieces they going to pick up. So that's NBA rebuilding for the Detroit Pistons. They ain't far from a championship, but it's hard to get back there. Once you get to the playoffs, it's hard to get back. Once you get to then if you get back, you still got to advance. If you don't advance, you still going to the bottom because it's a whole new season. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Quinn Wade Basketball and Easto signing out.